971 AD, the Chola dynasty of southern India is in crisis. 22 years earlier, Chola Crown Prince Rajaditya was killed at the Battle of Takkolam against the Rashtrakutas and Gangas. Since then, the capitals of Kanchipuram and Tanjavur have been sacked. 3 kings have ruled in rapid succession, and the heir apparent Aditya Karikalan has been assassinated in a royal conspiracy. Then, during the Tiruvatira festival in the city of Pathshala, a boy named Maduranthagan is born to the sidelined prince Rajaraja I and his wife Vanati. Together, the family would reverse the decline of their homeland, and Maduranthagan would go on to redraw the map of Asia, though it would come at a terrible price. This is the story of the one who would come to be known as Rajendra the Great, beginning with the reign of his father. Born into this destabilized kingdom, and while his father was not a king, the young Maduranthagan had to be sheltered from the plots of rival princes. His parents and aunt, the influential Princess Kundavai, who had steered his father through the mid-10th century Cholan crisis, took special care of him whilst passing down hereditary knowledge. His tutors immersed him in the Dharmaśāstras, or codes of human conduct, including eradication of evil bodily elements such as anger, delusion, and vanity, practicing universal benevolence by being honest and absent of cruelty, practicing purity, hygiene, and not polluting water, and Yajnaval Kias Mitri, the idea that fate alone cannot bring success without personal exertion. He was taught poems about the exploits of his ancestors, such as the story of Manunidhi, a king so obsessed with justice that he sentenced his own son to death because the prince had accidentally killed a calf while riding a chariot. Legends also told of the greatest early Cholan king, Karikala, who was said to have conquered India to the peaks of the Himalayas. Historically, southern India's civilization took shape in settled rice paddy cultivation along fertile river plains around 15,000 years ago. From this cradle emerged the Dravidians, an ethno-linguistic group who gave rise to the region's major languages: Kannada, Telugu, Malayalam, and the oldest, Tamil, which can be traced back to the 3rd century BC. By the same era, the Cholas were established as one of 3 dominant dynasties in Tamilakam, or Tamil country, ruling alongside the Cheras and Pandyas. Besides history, the young prince learned Silambam martial arts, archery, and eventually how to ride a war elephant. In 985 AD, thanks to patience, loyal service, and a pact he made with his uncle and former king Uttama Chola, Maduranthagan's father, Rajaraja I, peacefully ascended the throne, ending the 30-year succession crisis. He first reformed the state administration and military into meritocracies, where leaders were appointed based on capability rather than family lineage. He allowed villages to elect their own officials using the semi-democratic Kundavalai system. Raja even initiated the construction of stone dams along the Kaveri and other rivers to support long-neglected staple rice and commercial sugarcane cultivation. Later, he conducted a massive, decades-long land survey and divided lands into administrative units called valandus to improve record-keeping and tax collection. As wealth flowed into the Chola dynasty's coffers, the king gave patronage to the metal artisans of the realm, leading to the proliferation of a new South Indian innovation known today as Wootz steel. By the late 10th century, the Chola revival faced a major threat. A triple alliance formed by the Pandyas, Cheras, and Sinhalas. For over 1,000 years, all four dynasties have been locked in a cycle of shifting alliances and mutual destruction. So, in 993 AD, when mercenaries from Kerala rebelled against the Sinhalese, causing chaos and civil strife, King Rajaraja I saw his chance to break up the rival coalition. He launched a surprise invasion of the embattled Rajarata kingdom that saw Cholan forces cross the ocean and marched inland to destroy the 1400-year-old capital of Anuradhapura, forcing the Sinhalese king Mahinda V to flee into the wilderness. But harsh jungle conditions and hostile chieftains would eventually end the Cholas' push deeper into the island, a fact that the Prince Madurantagan would not forget. Just a year later, as the Cheras concentrated their fleet and the Pandyans marched on the Cholan frontier, Rajaraja launched another surprise attack, targeting the Chera fleet at Tiruvananthapuram. Soon after defeating the Cheras, Rajaraja rushed to meet the Pandyan king Amarabhujanga in battle, winning another stunning victory. His forces would capture the Pandyan capital, where Rajaraja I proclaimed himself as its king, though it would take many more expeditions to subjugate the Pandyas. Back in 973 AD, the Chalukya dynasty ousted their fellow Kannada-speaking rival, the Rashtrakutas, who once nearly collapsed the Chola dynasty. In the late 10th century, they began re-establishing influence on the states and vassals situated on the Cholan frontier. Rajaraja I could not allow these buffer states and their agriculturally rich lands to fall to his largest rival. So, in 998 AD, he invaded southwestern Karnataka. But instead of advancing deeper towards the Chalukya heartland, the king paused to carefully convert frontier petty kingdoms into Cholan client states. One of them, the Gangapadi kingdom and their feudatories, remained defiant. Their proud leaders, the Western Ganga dynasty, had ruled the Mysore region for nearly 1,000 years. Hence, Rajaraja I and his son devised a cunning plan. From 1002 AD, the Cholas would suppress the Nolambas, isolating the Gangas from their allies, before Madurantagan would lead a direct attack on their seat of power at Calicut. Foot archers and those atop armored elephants rained arrow fire on the city defenders. Then, Madhu sent in the elite sword corps to breach the city, armed with their new Wootz steel weapons. Calicut fell, and the Western Ganga dynasty was defeated. Over the next 3 years, as the Cholas and Chalukyas continued to clash over the frontier, Rajaraja I and Madurantagan mustered a massive invasion force, with one exaggerated source claiming it swelled to 955,000 warriors. In 1007 AD, the old king gave Madhu command of the invasion. As the Cholas advanced, they plundered the towns of the western Chalukyas to pay and feed their enormous force. As his men stripped the land of food, gold, jewels, and elephants, the Dharmaśāstras, which protected non-combatants, were said to be broken. At the siege of Donur, capital of western Chalukya, Chola numbers overwhelmed the city's defenses. Madurantangan got his victory, but at what cost? Many Deccans of the time now saw the prince as a destroyer and would seek their revenge against him. The influx of wealth from the Chola economy and conquests would help fund the dynasty's most enduring project, the Brihadisvara Temple in Tanjavur, inaugurated in 1010 AD. The temple is the first made entirely of granite. Its central tower stands 63 meters, which makes it the tallest Hindu temple of its time. As Rajaraja's reign approached its twilight, the old man turned his gaze back to the sea, launching a final naval expedition to conquer the northern Maldives, to solidify Cholan influence over Indian Ocean trade. By 1012 AD, recognizing his son's abilities, Rajaraja officially declared him Yuva Raja, or co-regent. This brief period of dual rule ensured a seamless transition of power until the death of the king in 1014 AD. As his 40-year-old son Madurantagan ascended the throne, he changed his name to Rajendra Chola, which means Lord of Kings. Now he had his sights set on conquering his way to the Himalayas and China. One can only imagine what awaited King Rajendra Chola.